Hi, guys. We love you. So, the case is over. Christopher Watts has been sentenced to life without parole. He shall remain in prison for the rest of his life and think of what he has done to his entire family and Shannon's family. He'll never get out. He was shaken, his legs were shaken, and he was crying his heart out. He did not speak, he did not want to speak, and his defense spoke a few words. That's it. But while he sits and has to listen to all their statements, his legs were shaken. Finally, reality has hit. The DA made comments about the state of the bodies. Shanann did not put up a fight. It looks like she was just attacked and strangled. Cece and Bella were not strangled. They were suffocated, as I thought they may have been suffocated. So, what Chris Watts said when he saw Shanann strangling his children on the baby monitor in the bedroom was obviously not a true statement from his mouth. The DA stated that in the oil tanks they had found blonde hair, and there was marks on her buttocks of being forced into the tank that's only like 8 inches wide. So guys, it looks like the evidence they had proving his guilt was founded. The autopsies proved that these children were not strangled. Therefore, Shanann Watts did not kill the children. It looks like he had made plans. These plans are he had, while Shanann was away in Carolina, he was seeing his girlfriend, and all these texts that he had sent her between them both, going on little excursions, like mini getaways, looking for jewelry or something. He also had called the school up and canceled her enrollment that she was to start that following Monday. He had canceled it and said they will not be attending. Wow. Also, Chris Watts had got hold of the realtor to sell his house. Oh, yeah, looks like another Scott Peterson. Selling up the stuff like the car and the house and all those kind of things. So what do you think, guys? There's the truth. There's part of the facts. But we won't know why exactly he did it, other than a new life with his new love. He had a taste of freedom for those 5 weeks that Shanann was gone. Did he start planning this while she was gone in the Carolinas? Is this where it all began? Yes, he could have got divorced, but he knew if he was to get a divorce, he'd be paying out a lot of money. You know, that must have came to his mind. Bella had bit her tongue several times because she put up a fight. She put up a fight. That's what they're saying. Because they could tell she put up some kind of fight as she was being suffocated. He suffocated them with a pillow so he couldn't look at their little faces. And then he disposed of them in a disgusting manner. What drove him to kill his entire family for freedom? His freedom in his head. But his actions spoke louder than words as he got on the TV news and pleaded for his family to come back home, knowing they were dead in a ditch in a tank of oil. Also, he had called his job up that morning and said to one of the guys, I will do that job where the tanks, where he put his children, he said he would take care of that tank. So he would be alone and nobody would be around. So he had time to do what he was going to do. So that was a planned thing. As other co-workers came to the site, they said he acted normal. There was nothing out of the ordinary. While he looked at those tanks and knew those kids were close by to him, knowing that they would never be found in that tank until he spoke out and told the police, the detectives, where the bodies were. But what made him tell the detectives where the bodies was? He could have kept quiet a little bit, but he didn't. He told them. But by telling them where the kids were, where they were, all the bodies, the police had, detectives had sent a drone out to that site because obviously they had called up his job and said where was he working that day. So they thought they would have a little look around, and the drone found that sheet, and that's where it all began. The sheet was found, and I think that's when he started confessing, because a sheet in the home is exact match to the sheet found at the site. So there's no way it could have got there any other way than Chris Watts putting it there. As Chris Watts sits there, shaking in his boots, crying like a baby, while the whole world watched, his head down, he barely looked up, shaking. His mother spoke. She tried to look at his face, but he would not look up. Not once did he look up. As his father had his statement read out, he did not look up. He could not face his parents. But the parents have come to terms with it all. They know he did it now. They must have got some information, and somebody has talked to them and gone through the information they had of the autopsies. And they are at peace now. They know he did it all. But they're still going to love their son and stand by him. But they are disgusted in what their son has done, and they are at peace. But they hope by him having a life sentence that one day He will tell the truth exactly why and what happened in that house and why he did it and why he snapped and why he planned such a murder to get out of a marriage. A marriage was in crisis, yes. Apparently, Shanann was trying to save the marriage because there was a book thrown in the trash of like a marriage counseling book or something. But you know, as we know, it takes two to make a marriage. Now, if he's full of resentment from the past, ain't no word's gonna help. He had made up his mind to get out of this marriage one way or the other. So as we speak today, the 19th of November 2018, Chris Watts was sentenced to a life sentence without parole for the rest of his life to suffer and think what he had done to a family he supposedly loved. And them girls loved him, and they called him their hero. Yeah, he's a hero, okay. So, he's gone. Goodbye, Christopher Watts. And hope you don't have a good life in prison, because you sure don't deserve a good life. Now that we know what you did, you didn't have to speak and tell us you killed the kids. It looks like the evidence was there at the autopsies, that there was no marks of strangulation to the children, like you first stated. That was your statement. That's what you said. And they've proved you wrong. People that believed there might have been a chance that you were telling the truth, a benefit of a doubt that people gave you, turns out not to be true. Just another lie. We want to know why. What happened? What happened to you? But you're gone now, and you're history. Adios to another murderer that killed their entire family for love, for a mistress, to be free, in no debt, start a new life. Whatever you were thinking, you didn't get away with it all. You didn't get away with nothing. It took them 3 days to find you guilty, as in the public, that after 3 days, after they found the bodies, you were history. Why, Chris? Why? Let's hope you tell your story one day. But it's all been said in the courts. You're guilty, and the autopsies prove what you did. And what you said was a big, fat lie. May those children rest in peace, and Shanann Watts' family and Chris Watts' mother and father rest, knowing that he'll never get out of prison. He's where he belongs, never to hurt anybody again, never to be in another relationship and having no more children. You're done. Let's discuss this video on your thoughts of today's sentencing. Comment and let's discuss this matter as adults and share your feelings on this day of sentencing, the 19th of November 2018. Thank you.